Hi everybody, thank you for joining me for this week's question and answer video. My name is David and this channel is Damar's Coaching. I try to do this every week. I encourage all of you to ask any questions you want that you have for me. I notice you guys watch older videos and stuff like this and ask questions there. Always, if you ask it on the latest Q&A video, I'll answer every question. Personally, in the next video, it'd be great to know what you guys think. Give me some feedback. If I misunderstand your question, you misunderstand my answer, anything like that, just ask me again. Give me more details and follow up with it if you want to know more. I know this is very complex, detailed things that we need to understand. We may not even know how to ask the best way. Stuff like this, just give it your best shot. Ask me anything, really. And ask me anything personally, anything about my services, about my coaching, anything like that. I'm covering topics that have to do with stress, whether it's job, relationship, things like this. Typically stress by toxic, unhealthy people. Things that we may need to recover from, like C-Ptsd. So ask away, okay? I might have an answer for you, I hope. I like to recommend something every week to you guys that help you in your journey of healing and learning more about yourself. This week, I'm going to recommend something that Cindy C. recommended to all of us. Hi, Cindy. Thank you. Cindy C. says, Marsha Linehan's workbook on DBT is definitely helpful for borderlines and even C-Ptsd. Yeah, almost anything that's helpful to treat borderline personality disorder will be helpful for complex post-traumatic stress disorder. DBT, dialectical behavioral therapy. It's a form of talk therapy. Anybody suffering with personality disorders, post-traumatic stress disorder, things that we need to know who we are better, how to function, navigate in life, stuff like this. DBT can be very beneficial. Marsha Linehan is the person who coined the term C-Ptsd. And let me see here. I want to get to where I have it recommended. Okay, here we go. So, sorry, it took me a minute to find it. So I've got a link for a skills training manual that this person wrote. It's called DBT Skills Training Manual, the second edition, available separately. DBT Skills Training Handouts and Worksheets. I'll just read just a second. Marsha M. Linehan, the developer of dialectical behavioral therapy. This comprehensive resource provides vital tools for implementing DBT skills training. The teaching notes, handouts, worksheets used all over 2 decades by hundreds of thousands of practitioners. And it's true. I know so many mental health practitioners that use this to help their clients to heal from trauma. If you have borderline personality disorder, they say the only cure, if there is one, I believe there is, there's been lots of proof of that, people being successful, is DBT. You have cognitive behavioral therapy and you have dialectical behavioral therapy. Like I said, just forms of talk therapy, but it's what will help you big time. You may need years of it and be completely dedicated and committed. It's so sad because the most common thing I see with people that have borderline is not getting help. They don't have a problem reaching out and contacting people for help because they feel so bad. The biggest problem is simply following through. Countless mental health professionals I know have ended it with their clients. Said, I'm not going to help you anymore. Because the borderline just will not take suggestions. Every one of them, it may just seem too hard for them to try to do. But there is great success with DBT therapy. Anybody of you suffering from trauma and stress and anything that has to do with this stuff, DBT, this book, this workbook stuff could really, really help you. Okay? The book gives complete instructions for orienting clients to DBT, plus teaching notes for the full range of mindfulness. Let's see if there's something else here that I have. New to this edition, so this is the second edition, so it's a little bit better improvised. Handouts and worksheets available online and in the companion volume have been completely revised and dozens more added, more than 225 in all. And each module has been expanded with additional skills. So this is pretty thorough, okay? It's going to help anybody. They say people with borderline, for it to go in remission, you need DBT, maybe up to 10 years. No matter what, it's going to help you, okay? You want to try it out. You want to stick to it a little bit. You want to get the book and do some of the work activity that they suggest. It's going to help you, okay? It's going to help you. Anybody who knows or is familiar with this, with her work, please let me know what you think, what it did for you. And thank you for your suggestion, Cindy. All right, let's get into the questions. First one is from Grickmer, Grikmyr. I'll ask if you guys could please give us your locations. Tell us where you are. Doesn't matter how many times I ask. Most people don't, but please try if you hear me. Wanting friendships and or a relationship is fine. Being alone can at times be uncomfortable and scary, but it is way better being alone than being used, abused, taken advantage of, raged at, disrespected, left out, neglected, snubbed, mistreated, taken for granted, mocked, cheated on, betrayed, ghosted, put down, ridiculed, yelled at, treated as an option, lied to, gaslit, isolated, groomed, manipulated, conned, tricked, fooled, let down, disappointed, made fun of, gossiped about, slandered, walking on eggshells, losing yourself, and you spelt losing correctly, which is rare. Everyone puts 2 O's, which is loosing. The silent treatment, stress, chaos, drama, and codependency. I don't know. You think that's all worse than being alone? Obviously, when you put it like that. And I'm sorry for all of your experiences with all of that. I'm sorry if you're isolating. Isolating is a form of defense. It's a way our brain takes over and tells us, don't even try and we won't even get hurt. Okay? So I understand isolating is better than all that, for sure. But isolating is just staying alive. Just realize that. And there's a life waiting for you when you're ready. Okay? When you can trust yourself again. All right? Don't have to be so scared. Reach out for help. That's what it's for. Thanks for sharing that. Wasn't a question, but let's see. Nicola, again. Hi, Nicola. As Rory is going back on videos, I just want to remind you of a CNXG video on borderline where you absolutely killed it on Let's Have a Baby Now. I know it takes 9 months, but we can do it in 6. Bloody brilliant. My ex did that even though he'd had a vasectomy. That's not delusional at all. I've had a vasectomy. Let's have a baby. It'd be fun trying. No, it's be fun talking about it. That idealizing, huh? Okay, let's get to a question. Here's a question. Rory from Ohio. Hi, Rory. My question is, why do you think people are reluctant to ask questions? You always say that there are no bad questions, only bad answers. Even if the question has been asked before, it could be the first time a person's listening. For me, if I hear an answer to a question put in different words than the last time, I might have a light bulb moment. I like that you show each person's question the respect it deserves and encourage them to ask more questions. As always, thanks, David, for a platform we can ask tough questions. And thank you, Rory, very much. And thank you so much for all your support. You're great. Thank you. Not everybody wants to be outgoing and ask questions. Not every, you guys watching may be sad, depressed, traumatized, or might have a little low self-worth. That really would take into play if we don't want to ask questions because we don't believe we're worthy of it. We don't want the attention. We don't want to bother David. David's already had this question before. It's probably a stupid question anyway. And there really is no such thing as a stupid question. We have to ask questions to learn, to navigate, to know how people feel and stuff like this. If I'm doing something wrong, or we just have to ask questions, okay? This is a Q&A video. I'm encouraging it. I get so many people telling me that, David, I love this video. I love this video. You don't ever stop. Don't ever stop. And then I won't hardly get any likes, any questions, any views. And it's like, well, there's definitely more people that say they love this video and continue them than there are people that actually watch them. So, there's all kinds of reasons people don't want to ask questions. Some people just don't want to participate. I get things, people like us that were traumatized by people and we're deathly afraid of them. And we put stock into what they think. We get afraid of everything they're going to do, and we don't like to express ourselves, and we'll hide things we love and hide things we care about. You know, a lot of you guys may not tell people about this experience. You're ashamed of it. That means talk. But it makes sense to me in this genre that people are least likely to ask questions. Why don't people get the help they need? Every video I make, it's clear to me by some of the questions that they need help bad, and they're not getting it. So I think that would go along the same lines of why do people not ask questions here? Why don't people get the help they need? We're scared. We're scared of change. Yeah, that's the biggest one. We may not feel we're worthy of the help. Spending money, time, working on ourselves. We may not like ourselves very much and don't want to focus on ourselves. Don't want to introspect and look at ourselves, maybe. So, can't broad brush that one. But if you guys like this video, ask questions. Okay? That's how it keeps going. Thanks, Rory. Again. All right. Danny from Wisconsin. And I think you're Danielle. Yeah. I love that name. Danny. That was my little girl's name. D-A-N-I. So Danny from Wisconsin. My BPD ex-spouse cheated on me physically and emotionally abused me and abandoned me to pay for our home all alone while they decided I wasn't ever enough. Despite doing almost all the chores and working full-time while they played video games. I'm not sure who they is, Danny. Maybe you'll tell me here. All day, and said it's because I wanted to be monogamous while they wanted to embrace relationship anarchy. So the person that they're cheating on you with, sad. Because that would fill the needs I could never meet for them. Yeah, I'll read that again. My ex cheated on me, emotionally abused me, abandoned me to pay for our home all alone while they decided I wasn't even enough despite doing almost all the chores and working full-time while they played video games all day, and said it's because I wanted to be monogamous while they wanted to embrace relationship anarchy. Because that would fill the needs I could never meet for them. Fast forward years later, and I'm traumatized to the point of being unable to ever trust myself to be intimate with anyone ever again. What's worse is that this person still stalks me daily and pretends the reason for the split was that I'm a narcissist for refusing to join their harem. So my two questions, if that is allowed, yeah, that's awful, by the way. It sounds like you were in your own home and this person brought another person into the home and made you clean it and do all this stuff while they abused you together. That's just sick. Good luck on that relationship, that new one he started. Yeah. And pretty much live exactly how I want, do exactly what I need, or screw you. We'll just keep abusing you. That's just sick. People are different. Not everybody likes that. Relationship anarchy, having other lovers. Here's the deal. We have lots of needs and wants and feelings, and sometimes another person can't fulfill those, right? If I was married, my wife can't always be there for me to bounce things off of, to grab something I need when she's not even in town, you know, and I go to my friend for that kind of thing. Yeah, I get that, but this is sick. This is sick. I'm really sorry. That must have been awful. I wonder how long that went on for. So your two questions. First one, do you think it is a trait or a common feature of borderline to come up with or join social movements that excuse their bad behavior and think more typical and normal behavior seem like it's the wrong way to live? Yeah, absolutely. Totally lacking awareness to the point where we're on the scale of delusion. Delusional. I'm so great. No, I'm a total piece of shit. Right? But I keep saying, I'm so great, and I blame everybody, projection, and get away from me, it's you. Yeah, absolutely. Borderlines, very, very difficult to change their behaviors, okay? Personality disorders, period. It's hard for us to change behaviors. For them, way hard. Maybe impossible. Maybe too scary to even think about it. Maybe too scary to even look at myself to acknowledge I got a bad behavior. It must be you. And so how far will they take that? Oh, pretty far. They don't mind putting you in jail for a long time. Stuff like that. Ruining your life, your job, your business, your home. They don't care. No, they'll never can get that far. Can't stop looking at me. So Yeah, absolutely. They will join some movement to not call out their own sick behaviors. And you can see this today in politics. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Both sides are gross. I'm not picking a side here. Both sides are gross. They tell each other they're crazy. Yeah. They tell each other, call each other names, all kinds of disgusting crap. Just disgusting. We're all living here in the same country, and believe it or not, we all kind of want the same thing. We just got a couple different ways of going about it. If you can't accept that, there's something wrong with you. Okay? Number two, how do I get over feeling like I'm the one who ruined it when everyone tells me it was really their fault? Treatment. Talk. Help. Okay? Talk about this with someone you can trust that knows what they're talking about, that can give you feedback and make you understand. Our brains need to make sense of what happened, guys. This isn't something we just go, well, they're crazy, on to the next one. You've already tried that. It probably didn't work. I know they are a vile man who hates my guts now, but I still love them, and I hope, well, that would make sense. You still love a vile man. You sure? Doesn't sound like it. Kind of contradicting, isn't it? I know they are a vile man who hates my guts, but I love them. I doubt it. It might be something else, and we figure this out. We become more aware of ourselves and take things that are in here and put them out here where we can see them, and we hear ourselves saying this stuff, processing them with a little help. Truth. Positive. Okay? And you hope they have a good life. That's nice. All while they still try to destroy mine. Thank you, and thank you for doing these Q&As. You're welcome. Thank you for supporting them by asking questions. Yeah, you're, after we're traumatized, we're not really sure what happened. Our brain can't make sense of it all. It was so traumatic, it was so scary. It tries to make sense of it somehow, but it really was trying to protect you. Okay? It doesn't care how you feel. It's all your fault. You're a piece of crap. You're ugly, stupid, fat. Whatever it needs to do to keep you from being hurt like that again, because it doesn't trust you at all. All the times it was making you scared, stressed, and you just ignored it. What else can it do? Except tell you you're on fire all the time. I mean, yeah? That's where you're at. I'm sure you're not talking to someone constructively about this. Bouncing it off to our friends all the time is great support. But if they can't help you, it's stressful. This is serious, okay? This is much more serious than I need to ride somewhere, change a flat tire, or borrow $10. Way more. Might be the most important, serious experience in your life. It needs to be treated as such, okay? Talk. Write. But get the help that you need. We all need help. Anyone that says they don't, you're rejecting yourself. How do I get over feeling? Express these feelings. Start processing them correctly. Like where I just called you out on you love a disgusting, vile man that hates you. I understand we have some feelings left over from this relationship, but most of it is that addiction, that dependency. They're gone now, and that's all I can think about is them because I don't want to look at myself. That's why you guys are watching videos all the time. That's why you want to know what they are. It's distraction from you and your loss and your experience. So this is something we get over. It's something we go through. So start experiencing all your feelings and start expressing them and accepting them and making yourself feel better with some help from other people. Okay? I think that answers it. Let me know if I did answer it. If not, keep asking. Okay? And I'm sorry you felt like this so badly, but everybody can heal from this if you do the right things, okay? Sally from Canada. Hello, Sally. How does a victim spouse of emotional abuse behave towards others that are or were close to them? I would like to know how I can tell if a family member is being emotionally abused. Behavior has gone 360 from before marriage. I may have asked this before. Apologize if I did. I kind of remember asking a question like this a couple of weeks ago or so, but that's okay. You can ask me the same questions as much as you want. So you left your spouse And you want to know if they're emotionally abusive towards others. Yes. That's simple. Why just you? God, are you that bad, Sally? We got this great, healthy person that only mistreated you? That would suck. Yeah, that would be in there for a while. It's just not true. Okay? It's not even a choice. These are behaviors by a personality disordered person. Serious mental illness that's not aware of what they're doing. It wouldn't matter if they were anyways, because they can't change it. They've not done it different ever. Ever. Every person they've ever seen, had relationships with, and will be emotionally abused by them. Okay? Is that clear? So yes, he's abusing other members of the family. Okay? You asked me, I would like to know emotional abuse behave towards others that were close to him. How does a victim of emotional abuse behave towards others that are... So yeah, I made a video about this not too long ago. I can't remember what it's called now. It was just last week or the week before. Person who's being emotionally abused, how do they act towards others? So you've got stress. Okay? Stress. So think of how people act when they're stressed. Oh God, quick, short-tempered, mad, angry, confused. Yeah? Can't focus, can't remember, right? This is also a dependent relationship. It's an addiction, so they protect it. It's number one. So remember what we did? You ever known a drug addict, alcoholic? Yeah. How did they act about their addiction halfway through it? It's fine. No, it's great. I got it under control. I love this stuff. Oh, it's great. No, I hardly ever do it. No, he doesn't beat me. No, I got this from walking in the door. Literally like that. Most common ways that victims act of emotional abuse is happy, and there's nothing wrong here. Then it starts to even get too hard to even manage that, and it's withdrawn, isolate, depressed, sad, anxious, worry, addictions, sabotaging, leave and start jobs, move, keep moving, end relationships abruptly and begin new ones quickly. Just unstable, impulsive, compulsive behaviors. Okay? How did you act, Sally? Ask others that knew you at your worst. Right? What do they say? People that I was friends with many, many years ago that I still know, they'll tell me how it was. They tell me, oh, David, when we met you, you just kept saying, this isn't me. I got out of this bad relationship, but something's wrong with me. I'm not sure what it is. This isn't like me, though. I'm not myself right now. I'll be myself soon again. I was saying that. Drinking heavily. Unstable. Moody. Yeah. Hope that helps. Dissociating. Self-criticism. But I mean, on the surface, it's happy. Everything's fine. Yeah. And then you start to see things deteriorate, like self-care. Not putting my hair up or putting makeup on anymore, kind of just dressing like bleh. Not engaged with other people and relationships as much. Kind of withdrawn, pulled away. Haven't seen, talked to them much lately. Okay? Depressed, anxious, worried, scared. Addictions and impulsivity and compulsivity. Hope that helps. Thank you, Sally. Ask more questions. And Rory from Ohio again. Hi, Rory. In your video, Sexuality and the Borderline Personality Disorder, you mentioned porn addiction. Can you explain how the use of it affects a couple? Early in our marriage, we're talking over 50 years ago, he brought it into our lives. The movies, magazines. Over the years, both of these genres got more explicit. At first, I thought they were funny until I didn't. It was so much the occasional use that bothered me. It was how it progressed into this giant need in him to search hours and hours for more. I hope you get the question, because a lot of times when I've mentioned the P word in a comment, it disappears. I got it. So pretty interesting. I could go on and on about this for a long time. I won't. So in a relationship, when we introduce pornography in the relationship, what we fear of, what we don't want to happen, is what typically happens. And it's stimulation, okay? It's an exterior visual stimulation. When you have sex with your partner, there's some visual, but it's much more than that, isn't it? Connected to people. But pornography is visual. More men tend to be addicted to pornography than women, much more. More visual people, men are. Women more emotional. So the women really love the intimacy, making love and stuff like this. But men tend to be very visual, and they want their partners to be very attractive and put on sexy lingerie and maybe start introducing pornography. What happens with pornography is we can get desensitized. We get a rush from pornography, and so we will watch pornography images and sex and stuff like this, and we get aroused and we get a rush. But when we keep doing it, it dampens down. And the problem with pornography is we start with man and woman having, simple sex, and then it's got to be doggy style. And then it's got to be something else weird. And then we got to add other people. And it's always got to get more and more and more and more, trying to get back to that initial rush. Like your husband. He's just started getting more and more and more, and he spent hours looking on, because he's always having to look for something else that brought him back up to that. Okay? And so you have people that are addicted to porn. I can't imagine some of the things that they watch. What I've noticed, and what I just want to say real quick, pornography with us, people in addictive relationships, codependent, dependent relationships, whatever you want to call it, it's an addiction, okay? And what happens is we have a dependent relationship and the person leaves, and this is why we're so vulnerable to other addictions. People in their 40s start drinking for the first time and have a drinking problem. First time they start doing drugs, have a drug problem. Start having a sex problem, start having pornography problems, okay? Imagine my brain has a bad experience with someone for years, to the point where it's telling me to isolate and get scared of everybody, getting scared of leaving. Don't want intimacy. I'm scared of the next woman that hurts me. But there's pornography, a release for my want and desire and need to have sex, right? My sex drive hasn't decreased, right? And so that person is just so susceptible and vulnerable to being addicted to pornography. And the more that they do it, they could develop actual disorders, orgasm disorder, stuff like this. A lot of you guys are having problems, a lot of you men, with this. You become addicted to pornography, you're desensitized, and you are very looking for visual. What is common for men that are addicted to pornography in relationships or out of them and then start new relationships is typically sex won't be enough. What's that term? It's vulgar. I don't even know if I want to say it. I remember. And I don't know if I ever say it right, cuckold, where it's basically you want to watch your woman with other men, okay? Do you understand where that's starting? Like every time I've heard this, the man's always been, way into porn first, right? And then it started with just sex, and it started adding people, and the man wants to watch her have sex with him and watch it like it's pornography. Make sense? That's just one element of that. That's enough of that. Ask me any more questions you have, Rory from Ohio, and thank you. And Lynn from the United States. Hi, Lynn. Good to see you again. It's been a while. You're back. Can you talk about baiting? On the one hand, narcissists need time, energy, effort, affirmation, and praise, aka supply. But on the other hand, they also bait for a reaction. Is this because they're low on their supply, or are they simply provoking and testing for a reactionary response to harm? And could this provocation be a substitute for supply, meaning they'll take any kind of attention any way they can get it, even if they have to provoke it? I'd appreciate your take on baiting. You got it, Lynn. Yeah. Total provocation, isn't it? And that's what I wrote here. I don't have my answer. So complete provocation, provoking somebody. You will see the borderline on the internet constantly doing this. Every borderline video I make, there's always one sick, untreated, disgusting person with borderline personality disorder that has to sit here and poke and prod me. They try. They don't get my reaction that they want. And it's just ways to just fuck with people and they like the reaction. It's a way of projecting. It's a way of being the victim. It's the way of getting any attention that you can. Okay? Imagine a borderline all alone with the internet, becoming totally addicted to it, and that's just a disgusting recipe for just constant provocation. Everyone I can provoke possible. Gross. Don't react to it, guys. You see some disgusting comment on there, they're just trying to provoke you. Just delete it, report it, don't answer. Let it be the only one that doesn't get any replies. That's how it is on my videos. You'll have reply, and here's one stupid, disgusting, provoking comment, and nobody does anything to it. It's perfect. I won't even answer it. If I do anything, I'll just delete it. Let me know what you think of that, Lynn, if I answered your question. Emily from South Africa. Hi, Emily. Why does my parents treat me like everything's my fault? Because they can't look at themselves. Because they can't take accountability. Because they have toxic shame and believe they're disgusting pieces of shit. That's why, Emily. And it's the same every time I tell you. It hasn't changed. They don't change. They aren't just great people now, right? They don't just love themselves now, right? It's just you're there and they're doing it again. They gang up against me to make themselves happy. And when I'm clearly anxious and depressed, my dad just hums a tune and smiles at me sarcastically and says, "Oh, what's wrong?" Like he doesn't even see anything. He knows what's going on. He just doesn't care. And my mom constantly supports his behavior. When me and my mom had an argument, then my dad comes and comforts her, and they both turn against me and ignore me. And my dad would have a mischievous smile. He knows exactly what he is doing. I'm so sorry again, Emily. I'm so sorry. You can try to make as much sense of it as you want. Just don't ever internalize it as it's you. Okay? It wouldn't matter. It would just be someone else if it wasn't you. This is them. This is their toxic shame. People that treat people badly is because they feel like a bad person. Okay? You can definitely judge how a person feels about themselves on how they treat others. My God, especially their child. Yeah? Not even strangers, a child. So there's a lot I could probably dive into here. Your parents seem addicted to these explosions, these outrages, the rages, the yelling, and they probably release a lot, and then afterwards, oh, they feel good. What's wrong with you? Everything's great now. They're absolutely disgustingly sick, toxic, codependent. And they will protect this relationship against anything and anybody because everything else is number two, including you, Emily. Hopefully you're number two. But what's most important to them only is that relationship, not each other, because we know they neglect and abuse each other. So why is that? Weird, huh? It's the relationship. You guys aren't becoming dependent on a person. When you're codependent, you're dependent on the relationship, right? The things that it offers you, right? Makes you feel. Just disgusting. I mean, it's just sick. It's just sick. I can't imagine how toxic they are. They've never gotten help. They've never sought help. They don't believe, they won't call each other out, hold each other accountable ever. And that's the pact you make with a codependent relationship. We're both totally sick, but it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, I won't call you out. You don't have to fix yours as long as you don't call me out and fix mine. We just accept each other being totally disgusting and sick and abuse each other and hurt each other. And every single thing outside is an external threat, including our children that calls us out. Yep, that's what it is. I'm sorry, Emily. Thank God you can get out of there. I wrote, your parents are sick and in a codependency and abusive relationship. They obviously don't believe they can live without a partner to depend on and rely on for everything. This addictive relationship is something they protect and consider you a threat. There is nothing you can do to make it better besides argue and fight with them because they do not respect you or your feelings. They are abusing you and will never look at themselves and keep protecting their sick marriage. All you can do is leave them behind and grow, and good luck. Victoria from the Bay Area, San Francisco, California. Beautiful city it used to be. My friend just found out she had a stroke. I could see the fear in her eyes, and it brought back so many horrible memories of my stroke. Question is, how do I go around her without falling apart? I'm sorry, Victoria. I hope she's okay. I hope she's okay. You have to look in yourself right now, Victoria, and you have to care for yourself and realize and accept what you can do. Okay? Sometimes it helps us feel better to talk. Even in a situation like this, and I'm not telling you what's better for you, I'm just making suggestions. You know what's better for you, okay? So it might help to just start talking to her, to have a conversation about it. It might feel better, okay? And not be so scary and awkward. Just tell her how you feel, what you're scared of, and stuff like this. Being a little supportive. That's usually what helps us the most, okay? But you don't have to. Whatever it is, tell her. I'm so sorry I can't be there for you very much right now. It's freaking me out because of my own experience, and I'm so afraid to lose you, and it's just, whatever it is, just tell her. You don't have to do anything. But I consider the biggest thing you can do is take care of yourself, Victoria, and that's knowing your limits, okay? Know your limits. Maybe write her a letter. Give her a gift, okay? Buy yourself a few days. Maybe you can try in a couple days. But we just have to care for ourselves. Victoria, you have children. What would you tell your child? That always seems to help, especially with parents. Okay? What would you tell your child if your child felt the exact same way you do? Okay? You'd be comforting. You'd be nice. You'd say you don't have to. It's okay. Maybe try this. And that's the way we talk to ourselves. I'm sorry about your sister. I hope she makes a full recovery, Victoria. And Curaturable. Greetings from California. Yay! Someone said their location. Recently learned from other resources, YouTubers, was quite shocking that narcissists could be bisexual, gays, etc. I don't understand why that would be shocking. That someone with narcissistic personality disorder could be gay. I don't know a group of people that it wouldn't affect. It's interesting. I'm not educated about their LGBTQA plus whatever. What is your, that wasn't me saying whatever. What is your opinion, knowledge about it? Sorry, didn't check. Maybe you already have video about this sensitive topic. It's global discussion going on now in different languages. I think you're asking, because all you said is you recently learned from other resources, YouTubers, was quite shocking that narcissists could be bisexual. Yeah, well, they can be. I don't know. Why wouldn't there be? If anything, probably more. And probably more and more in the closet. That'd be my guess. I would imagine, because when you're talking about mental illness, there's going to be more people that are gay or bisexual or transgender, okay? Personality disorders, I've noticed it a lot. Yeah, I've noticed gay men, huge. A bunch of them are histrionic. Hey, bitches, I'm here, right? But I don't know why it wouldn't affect people with NPD. Maybe you could tell me why that's surprising to you. I don't know why it would be. If anything, I would expect more. And I'd expect more of them, percentage-wise, to be in the closet too, not come out. That's what they do, cover everything. Be ashamed that they're attracted to someone that gets same sex. Be totally ashamed of it and never tell anybody. Right? Go have sex with a man once and then beat him up afterwards. There's your narcissist right there, huh? They can't accept their own thoughts and feelings, so they go do it and then beat the person up. Happens quite a bit. I'm not quite sure of your question, though. Maybe you can elaborate. Thanks. And Dr. Drabs. Can't remember where you're from, but good to see you again. I think it's Jim, isn't it? How can I stop the ruminating thoughts that pop in my head? Best practices. Okay, so ruminating thoughts, I'm going to go over this again. The first thing is you got to understand what it is. Why I'm having ruminating thoughts. I can't spend 20 minutes, 30 minutes on this. I'm going to spend 2 or 3. We have to understand what it is. It comes from trauma. Our brain's trying to make sense of it because we didn't understand it. It was so much for us to understand and impactful that our nervous system most likely went offline. Okay? Our brains take over and chalks it up as fear. So we need to understand what this is. It's usually trauma related, stress related, and we worry. It shows where our relationship is with ourselves. If I can't reassure myself very well and I keep freaking out and worrying and focusing and obsessing on thoughts and stuff like this, the relationship with myself isn't very good. Okay, I use the example of if my dad hit me once a week, You know, right around there, hits me about once a week. One Tuesday where he doesn't hit me, comes up and says, you know, I'm upset about something. He goes, oh, don't worry, son, everything's gonna be okay. I'm not really going, it's not gonna sink in. It's not gonna work because I don't trust my dad because all he does is keep hitting me and hitting me and hitting me. Right? So the relationship with myself, if I comfort myself and tell me everything's going to be okay, it should stick if I have a good relationship with myself. If I don't have a good relationship with myself and I tell myself everything's going to be okay, I don't trust it. I don't believe it. Okay? So what we're doing is we're buying into anxiety. Anxiety's a sign of childhood neglect. It's where it all came from. All of it. Yes, all of it. I don't care about something that happened when you were 30 and you have anxiety. You have anxiety because of that thing that happened when you're 30 only because you were neglected in childhood, okay? We haven't learned how to take care of these things that happened when I was 30. So understand what it is, and number 2, heal. Most of this is heal. We need to heal from trauma and bad experiences. Oh my God, what was that? Well, I could have done better. Oh, maybe I should do this. Maybe I shouldn't leave the house. I mean, all of this, we need to heal. And we do that by talking, writing, okay? Number 3. Take your thought, whatever this is, take one. Take the biggest one that consumes most of your time that you think about the most. And we need to make sense of it because trauma and bad experiences, our brain has to make sense of it somewhat. We have to chalk it up as something that makes sense. And so your brain's trying to do that. So take this thought, right? Write it out. Make sense of it. If you have questions, answer them. Find the answers. Come up with an answer as long as it's truthful and positive. Truthful and positive. Okay? Oh, what could I have done about that in that relationship? Maybe I should have done it better. Okay, you're beating yourself up. And this is another part of ruminating. We're worrying about things we have no control over. That's why. It's mom worrying at home that son is out partying Friday night, Saturday night, every weekend. Now that they're 18, they go out and, oh God, oh my God. Sometimes they come home so late. Sometimes he doesn't come home at all. And there's drunk drivers out there. And oh my God, oh my God. Well, what are you going to do, Mom? Not let him go out or go with him or something? No. So we have to accept. Word of the day, acceptance. If acceptance is important to you, if you value it, write it down on your value list. Make it a standard so everyone else in your life must value acceptance or it won't work. And we try to accept and accept and accept more the things we have no control over. So that's where what we can do first is heal from our trauma, write down our thought. All right. We can make sense of it, answer all the questions, be truthful and positive. Okay. And then we name it. We label it. Now, what comes next is we have the thought. We don't invest. We don't think about the things. We don't start coming up with, oh, should have done, beat myself up, can't change it. What would you like to do better next time? That's it. Okay? And we just say the name, so we won't invest it. Just there's that thought again. There's that thought, that stressful thought again about my dad telling me, oh, yeah, you're this, you're that all the time. You know, God, that was so long ago and I still got it there. Okay, so I don't want this thought anymore. It does not serve me anymore. Here's the truth. It's positive and it's gone. This is the name of it, and push it away and distract yourself with something positive. Okay? Hope that makes sense. Let me know what you guys think. And thank you, Dr. Drab. Good to see you again. Victoria from the Bay Area. My 24-year-old son just told me he's going to join the military, and knowing nothing about the military, does this mean he's going to automatically be in combat defending our country, or will he be trained and come home in a couple of years? I'm trying not to cry around him, but I don't know what to say. Can you help me, please? I've come too far to fall apart now. I'm sorry, Victoria. That must be scary. I don't blame you, okay? Same advice. Talk to him. Relationships, guys. Communication, most important. You can say, yeah, no, most important is this, most important, but you're never going to get this unless we can talk. So whatever it is you want, whatever goal you have, whatever needs you have, however you feel, all of it starts with communicating. Talk to him, Victoria. Tell him how you feel. If he's made this decision, he might be able to reassure you a little bit. So you asked me some stuff. First of all, no, he's not going to go into combat. You're in the United States, so he's going to join the United States military, and we're not at war. Not a hot war, anyway. Means troops on the ground, right? We're in a Cold War, which is ridiculous that we're just funding Ukraine to just lose against Russia. And now we're fighting Russia. Not good. It could get really bad, really stupid. So that's a Cold War. Your son's not going to get injured there. We're now starting another Cold War. This is great. We're in 2 wars now, if not more. We're about to be in 3. So, and we can't afford to fund any of them. Just to let you guys know, we're screwed. If we did fight Russia, we wouldn't win. Fact. Now we're in another war. We want to support Israel. We want to pay all the way for Israel, and we want to fight Palestine. Great. But it's a Cold War. Your son's not going to get hurt. Okay? Just want to be clear on that. Your son may get stationed at some faraway base. I think we moved our base number up to 900 bases now. Pretty sure. Pretty insane. So your son, yes, he'll be trained. Okay? For a while. And then he'll be stationed somewhere. Okay? He'll serve his time and be done. If there is a war, he will be involved in that war somehow. If there's a draft, he will definitely fight. Now, there depends what he can do. He can be a mechanic. He can do computers, stuff like this, and he won't be on the front line, probably won't get hurt. He can be in the kitchen. All kinds of safe positions in a war, safer positions in a war. Drafting is down more than it's ever been for our country. He's extremely needed. Recruitment is at an all-time low. They'll be desperate for him to join. They'll offer him benefits, money, all kinds of stuff. We could help him in the long run. It typically helps people become better people. It's an amazing service to want to do for your society, your group, your community, your country. It's an incredible service. But I'm really sorry, Victoria. I bet that's scary, okay? And we just have to try to accept things we can't control. Make sure that your son, what you can do to help is make sure that your son understands what he's getting into. Let him know where the 900 bases are that he could be stationed at. A lot of them aren't very nice places, locations. A lot of them could be in, he could be in Germany. I grew up in Japan because my father was in the service. I think just my parents being in the Navy and being officers helped me be a better person. They emotionally abused me like crazy, but I still learned a lot from them, and it helped shape me into being a better person. I think just how much it shaped them into being better people. It helped me be a better person. But be there for your son. Try to, Victoria. Try not to be too upset around him, and talk to somebody about this. And talk to him about it, okay? Just talk to him. See how serious it is. See if he's still contemplating it. Let him know what he's in for. If you know anyone else who's served, have him talk to them, okay? Maybe that would help. I know that I believe your son may not have the best male role model in his life, so it might be good to help him talk to another male role model about this. You could offer him some kind of counseling or something with a man. That might help. Or have him talk to other men who he can look up to, someone that you value the relationship with, or just is a good guy. Not much you could do but accept it and be there for him, Victoria. Okay? Make yourself feel better by talking. All right? He may still not do it. He may not be allowed after they see him. There's things that could happen. He could get a desk job, a kitchen job, things like this. Mechanic's job, and he'll be pretty safe. Okay? Let him know the danger he is in fighting. It's for real. I'm sorry, Victoria. I really am. I don't want to sugarcoat things like that. I don't want to just tell you, oh, he's okay, he's going to be okay, never going to get hurt. Just realize that he's going to get hurt no matter what he does. And if that's the path he chooses, try to support him best you can. Don't make him comfort you about everything, okay? But you can talk to him about it. I think talking to both those people that you're asking me about can help you. Your sister and your son. Okay? Usually does. Sorry, I can't tell you more than that. That's it, guys. That's it for the questions. Thank you very much. I'd appreciate it, all of you, if you haven't already, support the Stop Narcissistic Online Bullying petition. It's right down below. Take it, sign it. I'd appreciate it. Thank you very much. Anybody wants coaching, you can find me at daviddemars.com. And please, I implore all of you guys, leave your own experiences, your own recommendations, suggestions, things that worked for you. And always ask questions. Let me know what you guys think of my answers. And love yourself first. I'll see you in a week. Thanks. Bye, guys.